Hello everybody, and welcome to the Silent Hill transmission thingy. I'm not exactly sure what's gonna happen in here. I just came from watching the state of play. As we saw there, there was a Silent Hill project in that, being Silent Hill Townfall. I am really excited for that. It looks really fun. I mean, to be fair, I am just a Silent Hill person. I love these games. So I can't wait to see what they have cooking up and maybe more of that game. Why are they just showing real? Oh, okay.
サイレントヒルトランスミッションへよう
I
こ
need
そ
to get rid of that.
サイレントヒルシリーズのプロデューサー岡本元井で
Not the
す
comments.
2022年の発表以来長い間お待たせしましたが
That's live
本
chat.
日は待望のタイトルサイレントヒル
I'm
タ
bad
ウン
at
フォー
this.
ルのニュースや情報をついに皆さんにお届けできることを嬉しく
Yeah,
思います
Townfall. Yeah, we know.
本日ソニーのステートオブプレイでトレーラーを公開しプレイステーション5、Steam、エピックゲームズにてウィッシュリスト登録を開始しました
Alright.
皆
No
様ぜ
Xbox.
ひ
No
ご登
Xbox.
録
Got
よ
it.
ろしくお願いいたします
No Switch 2.
さらに
Sad.
この配信独占の最新情報もご用意していま
Okay.
す
I can't
まず
wait
は
to see
本
what
プ
this
ロジ
game
ェク
is
ト
all
のパ
about.
ートナーをご紹介しましょ
The partners for the project are.
うアナプルナインタラクティブのインタラクティブ&ニューメディア部門プレジデントヘクター・サンチェスさんとゲーム部門責任者のリアン・ルームさんそしてスクリーンバーンのライター兼ディレクターの
Did I
ジョン・
click
マッ
the
ケラン
English
さんを
one?
お迎えし
Yeah,
て
I
い
clicked
ま
the
す
English one.
皆さん本日はよ
I
く
don't
来
know
て
why
い
I'm
くださ
checking
いま
that.
し
There
た
are English words on the screen. I'm just an idiot.
Thank you, Okamoto-san. At Annapurna, we're always looking to push the boundaries of storytelling, and we couldn't be more excited and honored to have the opportunity to work with you and the entire team of Konami to co-publish Silent Hill Townfall. Annapurna Interactive is a publisher that not only looks for great stories to tell, but also great teams to tell those stories. And we're so pleased to partner with the very special development team that created Silent Hill Townfall, John, and the entire team at Screenburn Interactive.
And this project came about because the team at Annapurna and the team at Screenburn
How do I know these
are really
Annapurna
passionate
people?
about Silent Hill.
Who is
We're
he?
very excited about the unique stories that we're able to tell in this amazing franchise. It's also important to us at Annapurna that the developers we partner with really love the IP that they're working on, and that's exactly what we have with Screenburn.
Yeah, as a fan of the series ever since the release of the first game, it's a real pleasure and an honour to be here today to talk about Townfall. The entire development team and I are so excited to finally be able to share a first look after so many years of development out of sight.
皆さんありがとうございます
Years?
それではまず本日公開されたサイレントヒルタウンフォールのリビールトレーラーを振り返りましょ
Let's see. The Outer Wilds. I guess that's something. Cocoon. Yeah, I know that game.
You can't stay in this room forever.
Mixtape. I feel like I know this
You
game.
can't stay in this room forever.
Sorry, I'm looking through the Annapurna
I know this
thing.
is going to be hard,
I'm gonna kind of shut up.
but you have to come back to
Stray.
me.
Yeah. Sorry.
Come back to me, Simon.
Very Silent Hill 2-esque though, I'm gonna say. I said this in the State of Play reaction, which will be on my second channel, because I'm gonna put this one on my first
I woke
channel.
up in the water again.
Main channel, yeah. Main channel content, yay.
This time it's different.
I think it's interesting though that they're like doing that whole, like this is a different place, different country. I don't know if this is France, Italy, Europe. Doesn't seem like a very American place. I mean, it might be America, but it doesn't seem very American. That's the thing.
But no matter what I do,
See, the pocket television is peak though.
It doesn't let us change things.
Simon.
You did what you did.
I still don't understand. Is he dying or something? Like, is that the point of the game? But yeah, it's very Silent Hill 2-esque, I feel. It feels that way. But it's, you know, more unique, I guess. Sorry if I didn't explain it earlier. I'm dealing with a little bit of sickness right now. That's why this is the main channel content for today. I just don't feel like recording right now. I need to rest a little bit. Maybe tomorrow, if everything goes to plan, maybe I'll feel better.
前回のティザートレーラーから続く形でついにあのポケットテレビの持ち主が明らかになりました。このトレーラーはタウンフォールの本質、そしてサイレントヒルらしさをしっかりと捉えています。
And we can see from the trailer that debuted today that Townfall clearly embodies the DNA of the Silent Hill franchise. It also has quite a unique take, which we know has been really important to the team at Screenburn. And part of that uniqueness comes from their own identity, their perspectives, their history, and their style. So John, we'd love viewers to learn more about Screenburn and your team's history and the work you've done on Silent Hill Townfall.
Absolutely. Our main objectives were to make a game that could feel specific to the team who made it, to bring something new to the series in terms of setting, and to really think about what Silent Hill, both in concept and gameplay, could look like through a Screenburn lens.
Yeah, and it's this lens that appealed to us so much when we started working with you and Screenburn, you know, many years ago. And we knew that with Annapurna's partnership with Konami helping to guide the project, that the three teams together could produce something original, exciting for the fans, and show Silent Hill in a way that hadn't been seen before.
That looks cool.
皆様、情熱あるメッセージ本当にありがとうございます。サイレントヒルの伝統を受け継ぎつつも、新しいチームごとに世界観やテーマ、美学がどのように解釈されるかを示すことはとても重要です。ここでスクリーン版インタラクティブと本作を語り作る人々の姿をご覧いただきましょう。
And now we got this. So is it gonna be in UK, England? Is that what they're? You know, because a lot of these are European countries. So is it gonna be set in Europe? From the trailer, it really looks like a European-ish town, like an Italy or France.
We've got our previous games that we worked on over the years. So Super Arclight was our first title that we released back in 2016. Stories Untold, 2017, Observation, 2019, and then Silent Hill soon. Our little collection of Silent Hill games. The thought that we're going to be slotted in at the end there, it is a genuine honor.
Have they been
to work with
have some of the
and to
developers
contribute to
played
it.
like a lot of them then?
After we shipped Observation, we were kind of like figuring out what we were going to do next. And then we got this call from Annapurna to ask us what we would do with Silent Hill. That froze us in our tracks. It's not an opportunity we ever thought we'd get, but it's one we knew we all wanted right away. We pulled together a pitch of what we felt would be a really cool, unique Screenburn take and brought it to Konami, and we were delighted that they loved the idea. It was like, this is exactly what we need. This is what we want to do, and we want you to go for it. And
Did
so
he
to
just
have
say
that trust in
idea?
us, both Annapurna and Konami is a huge honor.
I'm not gonna be too rude to the guy who's English. Obviously, it's a different dialect of English.
So yeah, this
still,
is
you know,
where Graham lives,
foreign.
and where Graham lives.
My name's Graham McKellen. I'm the lead game designer. John is my brother, so we've known each other for a while. We have a lot of the same experiences, films that we watched when we grew up, games that we played. That allows us to work really well together when it comes to finding the synergy between narrative and game design. Very early, we agreed that we wanted to present this game in first person. And first person is, you know, you have a more limited field of view.
First person Silent Hill game, huh?
There's things happening off screen which you're not always aware of, and
that'll be interesting. I mean,
what happens off screen
Resident Evil
scarier than
did
what
it
happens
well. I
right
wonder
in front of
how
you.
a Silent Hill game will do.
How we use the perspective to induce
I personally like
the horror,
third-person
anxiety, and
games.
fear, but then at the
Kinda
same
what's
time
drawing
trying
me
to
away
find
from
the balance to that,
Indiana
which
Jones.
is what can we give the player.
You know, one of the first things we set out to do was like, what can we do with the radio that's not been done before? What can we do that kind of gives it a new function, a new aesthetic, but it feels Silent Hill. The analog tech that's kind of
honestly, I kind of like
visual
the
calling
idea
card.
of
Most
getting
of the things
these
we've done,
older
like, even in
franchises
our
to
previous
newer
games has
people
been as close to real life
and seeing what their
technology as we can get.
interpretations
This
are.
is very small handheld TV, but kind of inspired the CRTV.
Yeah.
The CRTV is, our take on the classic radio. We knew we wanted to have the player bring it up and
CRTV
actually
is
use it.
kind
So
of peak,
we
honestly.
were really keen on having the player tune with the CRTV, actually go through the frequencies, discover narrative content, but also being able to use it as a tool to see where enemies were. So yeah, we teach the peek mechanic, which gives the player a little bit extra mobility around where the camera can be. So you can peek up and to the sides to see around corners or over walls.
I keep doing this as I lean.
And it's really important for the first person perspective, giving the player that extra control over the camera.
I know that feeling of like you want to lean with the
For a long
camera
time,
to
this
like
game,
actually like
we
see
felt
more,
like just
it's a
being
2D screen.
Northern
There's not
Europe,
going to be
and not
that
lock
extra.
it down to Scotland. There was a drive to create something that felt authentic to us, and it kind of felt natural to kind of bring it home.
When John first showed me the game and I saw this sort of a very obviously Silent Hill, misty, foggy environment, that felt like a walk to school when I was growing up. Because, I've grown up in towns like this, in a small fishing town that's kind of similar to St. Amelia. It's a beautifully epic, grey, drizzly environment, and we're bringing that to the game.
It just feels so
So is this
real,
like based off of
especially
something in
when you're
Glasswell
going through
then?
it in
Like,
first
or,
person.
like-
You kind of feel like you're there. It's so detailed, every single thing, and it's all connected to the story.
A very personal story, I know for John as well.
I would have been about 17 or 18 when the first game came out, and I was really ill, high fever, all this kind of stuff. I know I finished it, but the experience I have was like a fever dream, because it literally was. To this day, I've never played it again, because I kind of don't want to know whether what happened that night was real or not. Drawn to the Fog ever since.
Best way
and I
of
think
a
now
game.
that we're actually responsible
Play
for
it
we're
once.
actually just kind of pulling
You
the
know,
rest of the team in, and now we're looking
when you're
forward to
young,
bringing
not
fans
knowing
into that
what's going
too.
on, and then never play again. That sounds like a peak experience, honestly.
スクリーンバーンのチームの皆さん、ありがとうございました。自
Kind
分
of
たち
brings
の
the
仕事
horror
だけ
to
で
it a
な
little bit
く、
more
サイ
alive,
レントヒル
honestly.
の歴史や意味に強い情熱を持つ開発者の姿を目にするのはとても刺激的ですね。各チームがそれぞれのビジョンをサイレントヒルに持ち込み、新しい体験をどのように形作ったのかがよくわかります。
I wonder if we're gonna hear more about.
さて、
Or
公
if they're
開
just
され
gonna
たばか
totally
りの
ignore
ト
the
レーラーに
remake's
ついて
existence.
語るべきことがたくさんあります。最も注目すべきは本作が一人称視点である点でしょう。過去作にも一人称要素はあるものの、10時間を超える長編作品としてこの方式を採用したのはタウンフォールがシリーズ史上初めてです。この視点の変化によりプレイヤーはサイレントヒルの恐怖を新たなレンズを通して目撃することになります。恐怖がプレイヤーのすぐそばに迫るだけでなく、スクリーンバーンが考案した新しい戦闘、回避、謎解きのメカニクスとも見事に調和します。
Absolutely. Every feature of the game has been designed with this perspective in mind, but always making sure that while we see the world in this new way, the experience still feels distinctly Silent Hill. A big part of that experience is centered around enemies and how our protagonist Simon will encounter them. Familiar tools from the world of Silent Hill are all available, planks of wood, pipes, and ranged weapons like the pistol, but the ability to sneak, hide, and evade brings a new element of choice to the combat, where resorting to violence isn't the only option.
That's good.
In fact, with the aid of the pocket television, known as the CRTV in the game, evasion is every bit as useful a survival technique as facing enemies head-on. Players are encouraged to experiment and find a playstyle that suits them while being mindful of the resources and the opportunities that surround them.
I really can't wait for this game. I hope it releases soon.
サイモンは物体や壁
But
の
at the
上
same
から
time, I still need to
あるい
finish
は周り
Silent
か
Hill
ら
F. I
慎重
don't
に身を
know.
乗り出して敵の様子を確認でき、発見される可能性を下げることができます。この要素は遭遇前の慎重さが生かされるだけでなく、見た目、手触りの面でとても映画的な表現になっています。
What is this like framing
That
though of
additional
them?
level
Though?
of fine control
It seems
provided
like
to the
very
player works
strange
especially well in first person, and it allows
for them
players
to be framed that
cautiously
way. You know
assess
what I
an
mean?
encounter before they make a decision to evade or charge in. In first person, features like the peak or the CRTV become more immersive, rendering details up close in the character's hands and all in a tactile and physical way rather than using on-screen HUD elements. These features really shine in first person, and as the game progresses, players will be challenged in many different ways. Using the right technique at the right time is vital for Simon's survival.
ジョンさん、次は新主人公サイモン・オーデルに目を向けてみましょう。シリーズのキャラクターは皆心に重いものを抱えていますが、サイモンも例外ではありません。彼は多層的で不安定、
This is also our
そ
first
して
like
非常に人間的です。トレーラ
black
ー冒頭で主人公であるサイモンが今回舞台となる街セントアメ
Like
リ
they
ア
never
に
did that
縁
in
がある
like
こと
any
が
of the
示唆さ
spin-off
れ、
titles or
彼
any
の
of the
困難な
movies,
旅が始まります。
right?
ジョンさん、彼が島へ向かう事情、そしてプレイヤーが
To be
踏み入
fair,
れる
I'm not
物語
well
につ
versed
い
in the
て
spin-off
視聴
titles.
者の皆様に
I know
特別に
Silent
教えて
Hill
もらえますか？
1, 2,
Well,
3,
I
and
knew when beginning to write the game that fans would have
not
certain
really much more
expectations
about
about
the
the
room.
worlds, characters, and the themes that permeate the series. I wanted to both lean into those expectations in some ways and subvert them in others. Guilt is a strong theme throughout Silent Hill's many stories, and I wanted to dive deeper into the various different ways that guilt can manifest, where it comes from, what it can do to people, and how, if you can, come to accept or resolve it. So while those narrative themes are distinctly Silent Hill, we're looking at and interpreting those themes in a very different way.
ゲームの冒頭、サイモンは物事を終わらせてほしい、それが正しいことだと告げる謎の電話を受け取ります。トレーラーで見た通り、彼は島に到着しますが、この段階ではどうやって来たのか不明であり、サイモン自身も向かう先が分かっていないように見えます。
Well, a core component of our team's narrative style that has been present in all
What do
of
you
our
guys think
previous
about that
games
trailer, though?
is
I
mystery.
feel like that shows the
Simon's
perfect
journey
like
through the town is layered with nuance and questions, where
the perfect
players will
amount
gradually
for you
uncover
to be
both small
intrigued but
details
not really
and big
know about the
reveals,
story.
and they'll be kept guessing throughout.
You know,
There are other characters to meet along the way too, and understanding
Sorry,
Simon's
give me a
connection
second.
to them is key to the narrative. Some mysteries will pay off as the game progresses, and some will deepen further, inviting players to dive deep into the world and the details spread around the town.
サイモンの旅がどのようなものになるの
My
か
head
楽
is
しみにして
spinning.
いただければと思います。さて次はタウンフォールの舞台となる街セントアメリアについてご紹介しましょう。サイレントヒルのキャラクターを街と切り離すことはできません。世界は彼らを映し出し、試し、変えていきます。サイモンの旅を理解するには彼が身を置く街を理解する必要があります。
I remember now.
それでは、
Yeah, trailers
セ
always
ントアメリア
show
の
too
インス
much.
ピレーションとなったスコットランドの実際の場
At
所を見
least
て
that's
み
what a lot
ま
of
しょ
people
う。
say about trailers in the modern day. I don't care about that. I want to see what all what the development team want to show off, or like the publishers want to show off
So we're
about a
going to
game.
go to the east coast of Scotland. We've referenced a lot in the game. Graham and I have been many
Scotland,
times
huh?
over the years. We took Paul up when he joined.
I knew it
the
was
team.
gonna be like one
and I
of
think
those
this is one of his first
European, like
It is, yeah.
So you're gonna see a bit of a
Berkshire
shock
type.
when you're in St. Amelia.
As a QA lead, I think I have played probably 3,000 hours of this game, but I've actually never explored those real towns, so I'm excited to see it.
It's the smell and the wind and the sound of the place. All of that together is what you're trying to recreate. You're not just trying to recreate the visuals. You're trying to recreate the vibe. And there's no better way of doing it than spending time there.
It's really important to not live your life behind a lens and just absorb the place when you're there. So I suppose it's always important for artists to get out and see the place that they're supposed to be making.
Graham and I were chasing fog.
To be honest, I really like
I've
this
dragged Graham out with me.
documentary style way of what do you call it? One of these
Fog was so dense that when we came out here, we got to like this spot,
things, I guess.
and from here we couldn't see the coast anymore, and we couldn't tell which direction the coast was in, and we immediately felt like in danger. And we ended up with this shot here. The atmosphere is like blue and light. The sun was going down.
Oh my
Everything
god,
from that
that
moment
is
was
really
when we
perfect
realized that
Silent
this
Hill
game
like
came
feeling to it. That's a lovely
We have this
image.
fog that rolls in on the east coast of Scotland called a har. I got pretty obsessed
har?
chasing the har. You know, I wasn't painting images. I wasn't like trying to like imagine what the fog would look like. I could go to a town that looks like St. Amelia and find a fog that looks like Silent Hill and come back and show the team, here's what the game is.
These pictures are
And I would drag other people on my trips with me and be like, you gotta come too. And they're like, really? It's 4 a.m. So that when we come back to the studio, we can try and recreate what we felt, not just what we saw.
I'm gonna be honest, those photos are peak.
This was like the first beautiful corner that we did. And then as we get around this corner...
So is this like a real town?
Yeah, it's literally the same.
It is actually, yeah.
Yep.
This is so cool.
Yep.
I hope we have that in the game, the seaweed.
This was the first pier I think we came to. And we walked along a bunch of other piers as well, just to kind of see the differences and, yeah, the kind of shapes that they make and how they're used, that kind of thing, you know. So this is it. This is very similar to our St. Amelia pier.
So we're in St. Monins. This is the harbour town and was the first place that we built for the game.
When I started to write the story about what this town was, what happened to this town, the isolation was a big factor. There's like an existential dread that comes with that. Silent Hill has always had a sense of like not being able to leave the town and face.
I love this
why they're there.
atmospheric
That isolation isn't
feeling.
just for the protagonist, but also for the town. It's like they've got to do what they got to do. You just have to get on with it, and you have to solve the problem. There's no running away.
It's surreal. I think it's because a lot of stuff are so similar to in-game, even like the slanted walls, the colors. Wherever the benches are placed is exactly the same as in-game.
These alleyways kind of snake through the entire town.
Yeah, I
They're really
love
fun
that.
to walk up and down in real life, but when you've got a monster chasing you, it's just not a nice place.
It's gonna be really creepy and really scary, and it's
Coming up
going
there,
to be
this is one
peak.
of the
I
slopes
feel like
that,
this game is gonna be
when I
peak.
first came here, I was like looking at all the textures, and luckily Unreal allows us with Nanite to just sort of layer on loads of meshes and textures on top of each other. I don't know what this is. Bits of like rag and tarpaulin, like the glove, for instance, there. It's just like layers upon layers upon layers of life and history. You're mimicking several hundred years worth of life. That's what we aim to do. And a lot of the time, the player will just sort of walk around and absorb it, and they won't know why it feels like a real place. But
I'm glad
the
that game developers do this kind of thing
will
where
make them feel like
they
it's
go
real
out and
stuff, will
research.
give them that sense of
You know, I was
history and-
hearing about the Forza devs going to Japan and taking photos of cars and getting like scans of like really
It's a
rare
big moment
cars
for
that,
us,
from
definitely.
collectors
For me
and stuff.
personally, for the team, you know, we're all big fans.
I think that
I think it's an
devs that do
understatement to
this
say
kind of
big
stuff,
fans. You know,
they're
we're
peak
obsessed.
developers.
To be trusted with a franchise like this, it's an honor, and you know we want to make sure we ace it. So we're giving it our all to create something that's really new and really unique.
センターメディアのインスピレーションや再現方法について貴重なお話をありがとうございました。細部へのこだわりが新しい世界観をリアルに感じさせています。こうした丁寧な作り込みはシリーズならではの大切な魅力です。最後にタウンホールの規模や構成についてお話ししましょう。
For sure. And while Annapurna has been primarily known over the last decade for independent games from smaller teams, Townfall is no small game. In fact, it's among some of the biggest games that we've ever published.
And while Screenburn is a relatively small development studio at about 30 people, they have been afforded the development time to really realise their creative vision for Townfall. And as a result, Townfall is a full-length, high-quality game that we can
wonder
all
how long
present with
Townfall has
confidence
been in
following
development, though.
Silent Hill F and Silent Hill 2.
Like it seems like
スクリーンバーン、
like they said
アナプ
years
ルナ、
earlier.
コナミの3社が手を組み作り上げたサイレン
And
トヒ
like
ルのエッセン
being
ス
a
をしっか
small
り取り
team
入
of
れた
like
タイト
30
ルとなってい
and
ます。
being like saying
今
like
年
they're
皆
gonna
さん
it's a
に
full
サイレントヒル
experience.
タウンホールを実際に
I
プレイし
wonder
てもらえ
what
る
it's
ことを非常に楽しみにして
exactly
い
how
ます。
long development time
本
was.
日のサイレントヒルトランスミッション
Alright,
は
Pete.
こちらで終了
That,
と
that's
なりま
fine,
す。
you know.
最後に視聴者の皆さんへ
I
向
wanted
け
to
て
hear
一
a little
言ず
bit
つメッ
about
セージ
Silent
をお
Hill,
願い
at
しま
least
す。
being like, yeah, it's
We're so thankful for your
like,
patience, and we can't wait
you
to
know,
show you more
development
of what we
stills,
have in
maybe.
store for you in Townfall.
but
We see this project
Honestly-
not only as our biggest and most ambitious game yet, but as a love letter to the series that inspired many of the team, myself included, to become game developers in the first place. It's truly an honour to be given this opportunity to contribute to the series, and on behalf
Sorry, I
of the
had
team
to
at
cough there.
Screenburn,
No,
thank you for
honestly,
your support and your encouragement over the years.
We've loved
throwing
working
a
with
trailer
the
into Stay
entire team
Applied
at Screenburn and are very proud of the
like,
game they've created.
just having like a
Our
skill
goal
on
at
during it being
Annapurna
like,
is
hey,
to support
watch
our
later
developers so
after
they
the
can
Stay Applied. We're
focus
going
on
to be doing
making the
a
best possible
transmission.
game. It's been amazing to
Best way
see
not to
Townfall
fill up
come
the
to
State of
life
Play
throughout
with,
development.
garbage
Thank you
that
to Screenburn for
not
their
everyone will
partnership,
care about.
and thank you to Konami for trusting us with the Silent Hill franchise.
I care about
Silent
this
Hill
because
Townfall is a labor of love for everybody involved and a true
I
collaboration
love the
across the
franchise.
three
Silent
teams.
Hill 2,
From the amazing
especially the
team in
remake,
Scotland at Screenburn to
probably
the revered
top
publisher
3,
Konami,
like in
not
my
only
top
in
3
Japan
games
but
of all
around
time.
the world, and ourselves who are very humbled by
Maybe
the opportunity at Annapurna to co-publish a game for the first time with an
top
existing
3.
franchise and bring our unique take to this historic franchise.
スクリーンバーン、アナプルナ、コナミの3社で長い時間をかけて作り上げてきた作品を発表することができて本当に良かったです。本日お見せした通り、非常に丁寧に作り上げていますので、皆様ぜひ楽しみにお待ちください。本日お届けしたサイレントヒルタウンホールは、プレイステーション5と Steam、エピックゲームズにてウィッシュリスト登録受付中です。ぜひ登録をお願いいたします。また、サイレントヒルトランスミッションでは、今後も継続してサイレントヒルシリーズの情報を皆さんにお届けしてまいります。次回もどうぞお楽しみに。本日はご視聴いただき誠にありがとうございました。
Ultimately, I usually get them physically. I've done that with a lot of games where they're just wishlisted on my Steam, and I'm probably never gonna buy them on Steam, just because like I have them physically. But yeah, that was a peek. I love what I've seen as a game. I am hyped for the game. I want to play the game now, but you know, obviously you just have to wait. They didn't even give us a date. They just said coming 2026. It's 2026, man. Tell us winter. Tell us fall. Now they put the games on sale. Makes sense. Already own both of them physically. Already own Peak. So yeah. With that, yeah, this thing is over. I'm probably not gonna talk much more about this for right now, but yeah, the Silent Hill franchise means a lot to me. I love the games. I love 2. From what I've played of 1 is great as well. I mean, to be fair, I do feel like the control scheme of 1 is a little bit odd. But hey, it's a PS1 game. What are you gonna do? Yeah. So I'll talk more about this stuff eventually. So I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.